Cedar Falls, as Cedar Falls Community Television is very excited to provide you with 2022 Iowa High School football playoff coverage. As tonight, the Cedar Falls Tigers host the Jaguars of Ankeny Centennial in a Class 5A first-round matchup. Hi, everybody. Mark Simpson with you, along with the coach, John Yoakum. Excited as the Tigers are in the round of 16. And, John, they have the chance tonight, not only opportunity to advance to the quarterfinals, but to avenge a regular season loss to Ankeny Centennial.
Yeah, it's two teams that are familiar with each other. You know, they kind of know what each other wants to do, and it'll be an interesting rematch here, but we get to play them at home tonight.
Well, the Tigers 7-2 on the year. The Jaguars 5-4. As we look at the final Associated Press high school football rankings, you see Pleasant Valley finishes the year ranked number 1. The Tigers in the top 5. And Ankeny Centennial did not make the top 10 in the AP rankings. Now you look at the RPI rankings, and Cedar Falls, number 5. The Tigers move ahead of Johnston due to head-to-head competition. And the rest of the RPI rankings, you see Ankeny Centennial coming in at number 12. So basically the Tigers are the 5 seed, Ankeny Centennial the 12 seed. And we look at Ankeny Centennial's Class 5A group that they were involved with. In Group 6, you saw the Jaguars with a 5-4 record, looking up at a good Sioux City East team. Jaguars' schedule, they lost their first 2 games, got hot in the middle, including a win September 16th against Cedar Falls, but then lost 2 of their last 3 games. All their last losses coming to very quality opponents.
Yeah, Indianola, Ankeny, and Southeast Polk have all been highly ranked all year, and Waukee Northwest has been in and out of the rankings all year. So four very good losses.
And for the Cedar Falls Tigers, they were in Class 5A Group 3, where they were in a 3-way tie for first place with Kennedy and Davenport West. And the Tigers season, winning their first 2 games on shutouts, and those back-to-back losses, including the defeat at Ankeny Centennial, but finished the season with momentum as they won their last 5 games, including a huge victory against Cedar Rapids Kennedy at the UNI-Dome back on September 30th. Now the players to watch, obviously for Cedar Falls, Drake Gelhaus, over 1,200 yards rushing this year, and how he goes is kind of how the offense goes.
He's the 3rd leading rusher in 5A this year so far, and it'll be interesting to see how the offense tries to get him loose tonight.
He had 139 yards rushing against the Jaguars the first meeting. Drew Campbell, our player to watch on defense, one of the most dominant linemen in Class 5A, 7 sacks on the year, 17 tackles for losses. He is a force on the defensive front.
And that's pretty impressive considering he's getting double team, triple team most of the time.
And wearing 47 tonight, as it seems like he has a new number every week.
It gets held every week, and his jersey gets ripped.
So we've seen 33, 61, and 47. Let's compare the numbers here. Ankeny Centennial with the edge offensively. He has going head-to-head. Both teams out real stellar offenses, as very efficient would be the best way to describe both the Jaguars and Tigers offenses this year. And Cedar Falls trying to work their way into the quarterfinals. Can they get past the Jaguars in this second meeting of the season? Well, we'll find out in just a bit. We'll have the kickoff coming up right after this. This is Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
The Iowa High School Athletic Association needs your help to add registered sports officials this school year. Officials are needed at all levels in all IHSAA sanctioned sports. Officiating allows you to stay close to the action while serving as a community leader. And in Iowa, high school and junior high games can't take place without them. Visit www.ihsaa.org/officials or highschoolofficials.com for more information. Help the IHSAA add one today.
Cedar Falls Utilities really cares about our community, and that's what keeps us coming to work every day.
You know, a lot of people depend on their electricity and providing a reliable power, so we'll do whatever we can to make sure that happens and continues going forward.
We have to skip lunch to get their water back on. It's all about the customer. We'll sacrifice a little bit to get them what they need and get them going again.
We're always on call, so if something goes down, you know, we're going to be there. Somebody's going to show up and take care of what you need.
Sportsmanship means doing what's right, treating your opponent with respect no matter the score.
The guy across from you works really hard to get to where he's at, so you should respect him, respect all the work he's put in.
It always goes back to the golden rule, you know, treat people how you would like to be treated.
I'm sure if you play sports, you've been around people who are unkind during the sport, but it makes it better and when everybody's kind. You're out there playing a sport, you're out there to have fun. You can still want to win, but always be kind. Remember, that's a human.
Nothing you can say from the stands is going to change the call that they make on the field. No matter how hard you yell at them, they're going to stick with the call on the field. So it doesn't really help much, but what does help is encouraging your team when they're down, when the call doesn't go their way. Instead of yelling at the officials, try to help encourage your team and get them out of the funk that they're in and try and get them in the right direction.
For nearly 50 years, Witham Auto Centers have been privileged to serve our communities with honesty, integrity, and trust. And you can trust that we make car buying easy at Witham Auto Center in Waterloo. From our selection of new Kias and Fords and pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to our factory-trained and certified service experts, we're ready to serve you at Witham Auto Center in Waterloo.
Everything we do is driven by you.
The Iowa High School Athletic Association would like to take this opportunity to remind you that sportsmanship starts with you. Good sportsmanship means showing respect to student athletes, coaches, officials, schools, and to those around you, regardless of how an event is going. Good sportsmanship shows character, accountability, and sets a positive example on and off the field. The IHSAA thanks you for being a good sport for tonight's game.
So the second season ready to begin for the Cedar Falls Tigers as they open up postseason action hosting the Jaguars of Ankeny Centennial. Mark Simpson along with the coach John Yoakum. Jaguars won the coin flip and will be receiving the opening kickoff. And unfortunately, these gentlemen will not be playing for Cedar Falls. Man in the middle, Derek Woods. That's a big loss for the Tigers. And we'll talk about Derek's injury as the game progresses. Holstein kicking off and a chance for a return for the Jaguars at the 6-yard line. It's
blocking the back.
Max Snyder coming to the near side. Just gets across the 16. He goes down.
Looked like Curtis got blocked in the back there. Kind of two guys went for him, but good coverage there by the Tigers.
No penalty flags are down, and here come the Jaguars on offense. Trenton Smith is their quarterback, averaging 22.5 points per ball game and averaging offensively 332 yards a game. And their big running back is Elijah Porter, 0. And he has 695 yards rushing this season. Almost kind of like a wing T offense. Strong side to the left and movement, and starting the game is with a penalty is Ankeny Centennial.
It's a good start there. I think both teams definitely want to establish the run tonight, and backing them up 5 yards definitely helps the Tigers on defense here.
Second meeting between these two teams.
The left tackle is just getting a little bit of a lean forward there.
Jaguars won the first game 28-14 on September 16th in Ankeny. That was a game that was scoreless after the first quarter, but the Jaguars taking advantage of good field position and a strong wind, outscoring the Tigers 21-0 in the second quarter, and went on for the victory. Smith out of the shotgun, rolls to his left, breathing down his neck. Drew Campbell got him.
He was going for the football there too. You could see him reach out and almost reach for his hand, almost got a strip sack there. Campbell just comes flying off the edge here. Great pursuit.
8th sack of the year for Drew. Our defensive player to watch, lives up to the hype as...
You know, I understand rolling out to the left away from him, but you still got to block him. He was untouched.
That'll bring up a 2nd down now and 18 yards. 19 yards coming up here for Ankeny Centennial. They're back to their own goal line. Smith back to pass over the middle. Caught by Shuddy, the tight end. He's immediately brought down by a pair of Tigers, Drew Gertis and Drew Langner.
It's up 3rd and long here.
Gertis and Langner, the top 2 tacklers for this Tiger defense this season. Cedar Falls defensive front, Ian Bonekamp and Drew Campbell, Jordan Jones-Whitaker and Noah Thayer. Linebackers, Drew Gertis in the middle. Strong side, Drew Langner. Weak side, Ryan Bowling. Corners, Ben Russell, Carter Schlotman. Colin Kuhnrott is the strong safety. Caleb Whelan, the free safety. So 3rd down and 13. Smith again looking to throw near sidelines, and it's caught and immediately wrapped up. A good tackle by Cedar Falls' Colin Kuhnrott as Eric Entricken makes the reception, but just for a short gain of 3. And that'll bring up 4th down and 10.
It's a great job by the Tigers there. You just keep everything in front of them and make a sure tackle. Kuhnrott gets a hold of you, you're not getting away.
Easton Miller is the punter for Ankeny Centennial, standing at the 1-yard line. Jaguars in the playoffs for the 10th straight year. It's a short punt, and the Tigers should have good field position. It will bounce, and taken by Ben Russell, just runs up to the 50-yard line. And Cedar Falls will start right at their own 49-yard line on their first offensive possession.
Great start there defensively, get a 3 and out, and the return team did a good job of not letting the football roll down the field, so we're right about midfield.
Tigers with a record of 7-2 on the season, averaging 24 points a ball game, and really haven't been tearing it up offensively, averaging just 263 yards. They've relied on that strong defense and opportunistic offense. Drake Gelhaus is the key. He has over 1,200 yards rushing. He's in motion. And Hermanson will throw a little slant in, and making the catch, Logan Rowe, and pick up about 6 yards on 1st down.
They're trying to send Gelhaus in motion there to get the attention out there, and then running kind of a receiver screen slipped underneath. Pretty good pickup there on 1st down. And then you're playing against tendencies there. You're expecting to run there. You know, the game plan's all about Gelhaus there, and just get him off balance a little bit there on 1st down.
20th reception of the year for Logan Rowe. Zach English, leading tackler for Centennial, made that tackle. It's a 2nd down and a long 3. Pitch out to the left and nowhere to go for Gelhaus. He is stuffed. He'll lose a half yard. Good defense by the Jaguars.
Well, you have to think that Ankeny Centennial, their number 1 thing they're trying to do defensively is stop the run. You know, it makes Cedar Falls throw the ball, and you know they're getting a lot of guys to the football there.
3rd and 5. Tigers offensive line, the tackles of Jacob Peters, Will Tompkins, Hogan Simmer, John Henry Hines are the guards. Ty Koltoff the center. Tight end Ethan Beneke. Beneke in motion, top of the field. Back to pass, Hermanson throws it, and it's going to be caught, but short of the 1st down. And it's only about a 2-yard pickup. And Ethan Beneke, just his 3rd reception of the year for the big tight end, and now it's 4th down and decision time for Brad Remmer.
Might be the pooch punt with the quarterback would be my guess.
Yeah, I guess maybe a little bit too early in the ball game to go for it on a 4th down and 3.
That's my guess. Rowe usually goes in motion, and then you can have a pooch punt.
There's Rowe in motion. Here's a punt, trying to get that coffin corner. Takes a roll. Can the Tigers down it? Inside the 5. Yes.
Perfect.
Well played. Tate Hermanson's punt, perfection. And for Ankeny Centennial, again, poor field position to begin this second drive for them.
Another key here by Caden Smith is he gets his back to the end zone, so there's no way it's going to get by him. You see how he gets down here and just gets in front of it. There's no way it's going to roll by him. Good coverage there by Smith.
7:51 to go here in the first quarter. So both teams have had one offensive possession, and both teams with a 3-and-out. Packing it in tight, Quentin Smith under center. And he'll try just a
rugby scrum.
Yeah, quarterback sneak, and actually gets out of a little bit of a hole, taking it around to the 4 or 5 yard line.
He'll be peeling bodies off that pile.
Bring up a 2nd down and 7 coming up here for the Jags.
I still expect Centennial to run it here. If you drop back to pass, you could get a sack from Campbell here, and they'd be in big trouble.
My gut feeling is whoever gets on the scoreboard first is going to have a real advantage in this game. Look at the wing, kind of the wishbone, and here's Elijah Porter being held up. He tries to cut it inside and tackled around the 10-yard line. Elijah Porter had a huge game against Cedar Falls in the first matchup. Nearly broke that one.
Yeah, Cunard does a good job of taking on the blocker there. I know he didn't make the tackle, but prevented him from getting the first down yardage.
In the first meeting, Porter rushed for 164 yards, scored 3 touchdowns. He also had 44 yards receiving on 4 catches.
He definitely appears to be a nice athlete there in the backfield.
3rd down and 3. So a makeable first down here for Ankeny Centennial. They'll have Severson in motion. They're going to run.
Nothing there.
Up the middle. And
fumble.
Oh, the ball looks loose, and Tigers apparently have recovered inside the 10-yard line. The ball got coughed up, and looks like Ben Russell with the fumble recovery.
Let's see how it gets popped out here.
They run with Porter, and
yep, it's loose.
It was coming out as he fell down, and look at that.
It's like bowling kind of came off the edge there. Was the first one to get to him, and then one of the defensive linemen kind of punched it out, and Russell was kind of Johnny on the spot there with the fumble recovery. You know, I think defense is going to win this game. You know, it's obvious to say after a turnover, but the defense that sets their offense up better, because both defenses are very, very good.
1st and goal at the 8. Tigers want to take advantage of the turnover by Ankeny Centennial. Shea Buskell, the H-back to the right. Here comes Gelhaus, slowed up and fights his way for maybe a couple of yards. Again, defended well by the Jaguars.
Tackled by number 9, Zach English.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance or two here.
Gain of 3, brings up 2nd and 6.
I do think the play actions with Gelhaus is going to be open today, because it seems like Ankeny is really gearing up to stop the run.
Now the Tigers will put 2 wideouts to the left. Logan Rowe along with Caden Smith. Gelhaus, the lone back. And the Tigers will go with Gelhaus, cutting up the middle, following the blockers, and stood up right about the 2 or 3 yard line. As it'll be a 3rd and goal coming up for the Tigers, trying to cash in on that fumble recovery here in this first quarter with 5:22 remaining.
It's like they tried to kick out with the fullback, kind of double teamed and create a little seam for Gelhaus.
Drake Gelhaus, 1,269 yards rushing coming into this game. He has scored 13 touchdowns, averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Did a tremendous junior season for a guy that wasn't expected to be a starter this year. 3rd and goal, Tigers. And they're going to run the option. Hermanson keeps it, puts his head down, and will be short of the goal line, down at the 1. And the Tigers,
they're going for it.
They're going to go for it here on a 4th down, the ball at the 1 yard line. Huge decision by Cedar Falls head coach Brad Remmer.
I think they might. Thought they were going to go quick, go with a sneak there, but
So the Tigers recovering that fumble at the 9. Now it's a 4th and goal from the 1. Power side left. Out of the eye. Quarterback sneak by Hermanson. And no indication yet.
So he's laying in the end zone.
The referees unpiling the bodies. Touchdown CF. Give him 6, Tate Hermanson. On a 1-yard score on 4th down. A gutsy call by Coach Reimert, and it pays off.
Yeah, that's just where you use that big offensive line the Tigers have, and the running backs just get behind Hermanson and push him in. But, you know, I mean, how can you call that? You know, it's just, where does he end up? There's no instant replay, and if Hermanson's in the end zone when the pile happens, then it's a touchdown.
Jake Holstein, extra point, drills it, 7-0, Cedar Falls.
I'm glad you didn't try to jinx him there on the extra point there.
I would not. I would not. I know the importance of this ball game. There's.
Boy, that's tough. You know, I think if you're on Centennial side, you're upset about that too, but what can you do? It's just.
Tate Hermanson's 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
Here's the fumble that set it up.
As the ball popped loose and just seemed to be on the turf.
It's amazing that nobody was on the turf for a long time. Russell came flying in there.
It seemed like forever before Ben Russell comes and watch that short drive. Gelhaus.
I just think with how good these defenses are, any touchdown is just so big.
The Tigers then running the option.
I thought Hermanson was going to get in there.
And then the 4th down play. And did he get in?
Of course he did. What wasn't obvious that he was in there on that play mark?
Well, the offensive line watching the tape of that score. Have to be happy with the results, and Cedar Falls leading 7-0.
That's big when you get a turnover and then punching in the end zone.
Holstein, first kick did not go into the end zone. This one will. And it's another touchback for Jake Holstein, his 29th of the season. And here come the Jaguars. This will be their best starting field position. I think that was the idea in the return.
Yeah,
Snyder,
coach says, hey, just don't get pinned back by the end zone.
Snyder, the return man, just kind of moved his shoulder and let that ball drop.
That's interesting. That's something that Cedar Falls saw in coverage, where they thought they could maybe pin him back a little bit farther, because usually Holstein's been bombing those through the end zone where they don't even have a chance. So it's interesting if that's by design or not.
So the Jaguars following the turnover, back on offense. Trenton Smith, 6'1", junior quarterback, very efficient, completing 65% of his passes this year. And they'll give it off. This is Porter. Porter being forced wide. Now he has a seam, and look at Elijah Porter running for a 1st down, taking up to the 31. And the tackle by Carter Schlottman for the Tigers from his cornerback position.
Centennial did a good job of kind of collapsing that left side of the defensive line for the Tigers, and there's just room to run for the running back.
3:59 here in this first quarter. Tigers leading 7-0. Tigers hosting this playoff game, and the winner of this contest will take on the winner between Pleasant Valley and Valley in the quarterfinals. And they're going to fake it to Porter, throwing out to the flat running room. And this is Nick Severson hurting the Tigers. So he takes it across midfield. So Severson, his 21st reception of the year, and a well-designed play.
That's a lot to look at for a defense. Fake the jet sweep, fake it to the running back that just picked up 10 yards, and then just flip it out into the flat. Good play design there by Centennial.
So on 2 plays, the Jaguars go from their own 20 to the Tigers' 48-yard line. And here comes Centennial, trying to beat the Tigers for the 2nd time this season. Smith out of the gun. And here comes Porter on the left edge.
Nothing doing there.
And the Tigers.
Like Noah Thayer, I think, on the play there.
Right at the line. Well, they'll lose 2 yards on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 12. So you don't see too many backs with 0 as their number.
Agent 0 up there.
He always says that's how many guys tackle me a game.
Exactly. There you go.
Meet me in the end zone. That's 2:47 shows on the first quarter. And took a timeout on the field taken by the Jaguars. So Ankeny Centennial calling a timeout. Let's take a look at the first round matchups in Class 5A. And they're up.
You can go by pods here, and one out of the 4 teams will make it out of each pod. And if we were fortunate enough to win, we'd play the winner of Pleasant Valley and Valley.
You see sitting in Pod D at the bottom of the screen. Pleasant Valley, of course, the #1 ranked team in the state. But Tigers really don't care about that. They just want to win
tonight. Want to have a chance to play somebody. So
it's always exciting high school football playoffs. Busy night around the state. All 7 classes in action. We're in the round of 16. The smaller classes.
This is their second round.
Yeah, the 4 smaller classes, they got started last week with first round action. There's Ryan Pizzetti, co-coach, along with his father, the great Jerry Pizzetti. Jerry, the all-time winningest coach in Iowa history. 440 wins. 440 wins.
Yeah.
84 years young, still co-coaching. Love it. Second down and 12 after the timeout. Trenton Smith, the junior quarterback. In motion is Porter. They're going to dump it out into the flat. He'll make the reception, cuts inside, stumbles, but then leans forward, and good yardage on first down. Maybe 5.
Second down.
Oh, second down, correction. Yep.
So that's about 3rd and 4 or 5 here.
They lost yardage on that first down run by Porter. I forgot after the timeout. 3rd down and 4.
Quarterback just uses his eyes there to keep the defense in, and then flips it out to a great athlete out on the edge.
It's interesting that the leading receivers very balanced. Smith shares the wealth. Snyder, the wideout, has 22 receptions. Nick Severson, the back wideout, he has 20 receptions. Porter has 17. So and the tight end, Shuddy, with 26. He's the leading receiver. Porter stumbles. And that stumble may have cost him the first down. He's going to bring up 4th down and about a yard.
Yard and a half.
On ball at the Tiger 40-yard line.
I think they're going to go for it.
That would be my guess as well, too, John, is you're in kind of no man's land here. If you punt, you probably kick it into the end zone, so why not go for it? So the Tiger defense trying to step up.
This is one where you want to make sure you watch the ball here. Don't give them a free first down.
Jaguars pack it in tight. Full house backfield, and now they're going to use their second timeout of the first half with 1:18 to go here in the first quarter. So was that the play clock winding down, or was that just confusion by the Tiger defense?
Down to 3 or 2 seconds there.
So the Jaguars have had to call a couple of timeouts here.
You know, in high school football, you don't have as much time as you do in some of the higher levels, and so making that decision when it's a yard and a half, do we go, do we not? And then once we decide we're going to go, what are we going to run?
Ankeny Centennial in the playoffs of the 10th straight year. Their overall record in the playoffs is 5-9. Cedar Falls in the playoffs, 33rd time. Tigers overall record in the playoffs, 45-31. There's Brad Remmert on the right, in the black pullover, and his 18th year, 17 times he's led the Tigers to the postseason.
It's pretty good consistency, Mark.
Yeah, he's done a tremendous job. Last week, picked up his 160th career win. Congratulations, Coach Rem. 4th down, a yard and a half. Big play late in the first quarter. They go with the full house backfield. Snyder in motion. They fake the jet sweep, and it's going to be Miller dashing his way for a first down.
Yeah, I feel like they tried to get us to jump offside twice there. That beginning movement where they shifted guys was designed to try to get moving by the Tigers, but
Easton Miller, second leading rusher on the team, averaging almost 4.5, a little over 4.5 yards per carry. The strong run, and
I just think you tell your most physical runner, put your shoulder pads down and get a yard.
So 1st and 10, the ball now at the Tiger 36-yard line. Drive started at the 20. The Jaguars trailing 7-0 with the football. And Smith, play action, looking to throw. Has a lot of time. Now the pocket closing. He's being chased. He's going to dump it down the field. Receiver open and a sliding catch at the 2. Max Snyder makes the reception, and it's first and goal for Ankeny Centennial.
It's pretty good awareness by Smith because he was almost over the line of scrimmage here. You watch him roll out, throwing kind of across his body, just flips it. It was a nice throw.
Oh, in between Caleb Wieland and Ben Russell. And it's a first and goal at the 2-yard line. So the Jaguars trying to counterpunch after the Tigers take a 7-0 lead after they recover that fumble at the 9. First and goal, putting his head down, and Miller will be stopped short of the goal line. Second and goal coming up from the 1.
That's one where if you get him stood up, everyone should be ripping at that football or punching at it, see if they can get another turnover here.
Final seconds ticking off in the first quarter. And it looks like we're going to head into quarter number 2. Tigers leading 7-0, but the Jaguars knocking on the door. We'll be back with more right after this. This is Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
The Iowa High School Athletic Association encourages all Iowa students to take part in their junior high or high school's activities and athletics offerings. Research shows students who participate in school clubs, fine arts, extracurriculars, and sports are physically healthier and more likely to volunteer in their community, go to college, vote in elections, and most importantly, get better grades than students who do not participate during every year of school. Get involved in your school today.
Head coach for Cedar Falls, Brad Remmert, last week in the Tigers regular season ending victory over Dubuque Senior, picked up his 160th career win. So quite an accomplishment. Yes.
That's close to 9 wins a year when you played 9 regular season games. That's pretty impressive.
Started co-coaching with Pat Mitchell in the early days, and now has been guiding the Tigers for several years. 4 times he's been in the finals with the Tigers. As we move into the second quarter now, here's Ankeny Centennial facing a second and goal from the Tiger 1-yard line. Smith under center. And he'll try the quarterback sneak, and he'll muscle his way in. And it's a 7-6 ball game, and the Jaguars just an extra point away from tying this up. So the first play of the second quarter was a 1-yard run by Trenton Smith.
He could have got 10 yards from that sneak, but great response from Centennial there to just go through to tie this game up.
That is Smith's first rushing touchdown of the year.
It surprises me.
Yeah. Cale Wiener with the extra point. And that is good. And it's a 7-7 tie. So impressive 80-yard drive by Ankeny Centennial.
Had some chunk plays in there, 10, 12, 15 yards, and then the big pass play down the middle to set up the touchdown.
And spread the wealth to their talented playmakers with Porter, Severson. That big catch by Max Snyder. And this was the big play that put him up. First and goal at the 2. Yeah, he was close stepping over the line. And Snyder with a nice sliding catch. So both quarterbacks have scored on 1-yard runs. And now the Tigers are getting the ball back on offense. Here's the keys of the game for
Centennial.
Trying to stop that Drake Gelhaus and that rushing attack for the Tigers and be balanced offensively.
I was impressed with that second key there on that last drive. He never knew where the ball was going, and lots of guys touched it and spreading it around, and they also put the win special teams there.
Nick Severson.
Short kick.
And it's going to be taken by Rowe at the 15. Rowe looking for a hole. Nothing develops, and is down at the 24-yard line. And be first and 10 for Cedar Falls. Tigers on offense after scoring last time, but that was just a short 9-yard drive. And here are the keys of the game for the Tigers. Hold the line and control the clock. The Tigers would like a long drive here that would eat up a lot of time and get Drake Gelhaus going. Jaguars, though, their game plan, of course. Stott, number 29 for the Tigers. Hermanson, the junior quarterback, in the shotgun. And Smith in motion, a low snap, and Smith on the jet sweep, and that low snap seemed to slow things down from the beginning, and it's just about a 2-yard gain. That's a lot about timing, isn't it?
Exactly. Yep. You want to catch it clean, and to get outside as effectively as you'd like to, it's got to be a smooth transition. Not too bad. Good hands by Hermanson there to get that ball.
Tackle by Easton Miller, one of the linebackers with the Jaguars. They go with a 3-4 defense. That's always kind of confusing because you're wondering who's coming from where, what linebacker. Now they set up a 4-man defensive front. Oh, and the Tigers move. Beneke, the tight end, took off just a split second too early.
Looks like their defensive end kind of flinched his leg a little bit, and you want to get off to a quick start, and that happens sometimes.
And the key for Cedar Falls is always being on schedule. This is a team that's really not that good in like 2nd and 11, like a situation like this.
Their defensive end kit almost went offsides.
Cedar Falls has to get to the 34-yard line for a first down. Tigers without Derek Woods, broke his thumb and is out for the season. Play action. Here's a pass and overthrowing Caden Smith is Hermanson. That'll bring up now a 3rd down and 11.
Good design there. I think Smith had a step on his guy, and I think Rowe was also open over the middle. Just a little bit outside here. Sets up 3rd and long here. Big thing is don't turn the ball over. Make them drive it against our defense if we're not able to pick up the first down here.
11:03 remaining in the first half. We're tied at 7 in this Class 5A first-round playoff matchup. Tigers spread the field. Trips right. They'll keep it on the ground with Gelhaus. Can he get a block? Well, he fights his way across the 30 to the 32, but short of the first down by about 3 yards, and Cedar Falls will have to punt, and Jake Holstein and the special teams march out onto the field. I like the call.
Yep, it's safe, and they almost got him off guard and almost got 12 yards there.
Easton Miller with another tackle. So it's going to be a 4th down and 3.
I think he likes contact. He's their physical running back and linebacker.
Lucas Brule and Nick Severson, it looks like. I think they'll be returning this punt. It's a kick away from the return men, and takes a Centennial bounce and down by Cedar Falls. Colin Coonrod saw that it was bouncing back and reached out and grabbed the football. And so at the 36-yard line, the best starting field position for the Jaguars.
It's important for the Tiger defense here to have some success in this drive, because Centennial had a really nice, methodical kind of drive down the field last time they had the ball.
And it seemed like they had Cedar Falls on their heels.
The big thing was their balance, like their keys. It just seemed like any one of their guys could get it at any time.
So their offensive line, Carr, Jurovich, Eisentrager, Jones, Keller, tight end Shuddy line up. They'll have 2 men in motion. Entrikin and the tight end Shuddy, strong side of the right. And we've got a flag here as the ball was snapped and the ball was handed off to Elijah Porter. And I think this will be a penalty against Centennial. The illegal procedure. False start is what they're saying.
It looked like the defensive line had a little bit of confusion there. It almost forced their offensive line into some confusion. But I can see the linebackers there talking to the linemen. I think they wanted them to shift a little bit. When Centennial moved 2 guys over, they wanted the line to shift as well. And that's something you usually see on film, where if they do this in the formation, then the defensive line is going to transition and do something else. So
1st and 15 coming up for Ankeny Centennial. 5-4 record. Tigers 7-2. But remember, again, the Jaguars beat the Tigers 28-14 during the regular season. Several men in motion. They had too many that time. They had 3 guys in motion. Or do we have a timeout now taken?
Timeout,
I thought there might be a penalty. It looked like 3 guys were in motion at the same time. And now Ankeny Centennial is out of timeouts. With a ton of time remaining here in the first half. That could come back to bite them.
And it'll make them really hard to try to get that last 2-minute drive at the end of the first half if it comes to that.
Looking at the stats, the edge to the Jaguars. Yes. Again, there was a balanced team. Now, remember the 4 losses for Ankeny Centennials. We looked at their schedule. That all to really worthy opponents. This is a team that lost to Indianola. That was a top 4A team.
They've been ranked all year in 4A, and Ankeny, Southeast Polk have been ranked in the top 5 all year, and Waukee Northwest has been ranked off and on this year. So
it's talk about the Tigers' tough schedule. I think the Jaguars might say, hey, look who we
we're
got
pretty
to play.
battle tested, yeah.
So it's a
I think it might have been Waukee Northwest. I saw their schedule. They played like 7 of the top 10 teams in the state or something like that.
The metro area stacked. Again, the movement, strong side of the right. Snyder in motion. He'll get the jet sweep. Snyder gets across the line of scrimmage and then is stood up. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and 14. This is a fun offense to watch, isn't it?
There are a lot of things going on, but at the end of this play, when things are stopped, I sometimes wish they'd blow the whistle a little bit quicker, because I just see injuries happen when people get legs rolled up on that kind of stuff. But
Ben Russell, senior cornerback for the Tigers, with the tackle.
I feel like he was trying to rip the football out too. He was pulling on it pretty hard.
Russell recovered that fumble, which led to the Tiger touchdown. Cedar Falls led 7-0, but now we're tied 7 apiece. 9:35 to go here in the first half from the UNI-Dome. And Smith, safe pass out to Elijah Porter, using his speed, runs past a couple defenders and pushed out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
Looks like Coonrod might have got held right there at the point of the attack. You'll see him kind of attack the play here, and he's getting held from behind.
It's Trenton Smith completing again 65% of his passes, but a lot of those are those just safe screen passes to the guys coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, the one big play was kind of an improv. He got rushed out of the pocket and flipped it downfield. Be important to get off the field here for the Tigers. Big 3rd down here.
Smith gets the low snap. He looks to his right, throws it. Receiver catches it and tackles. Oh, the ball came out loose, and the Cedar Falls Tigers have their 2nd turnover of the game. Or are they going to say he's down? Oh, they're going to say he was down and that the ground caused the fumble. So Eric Entrikin made the reception.
Be interesting, because I think he was short, but they got a pretty favorable spot. Oh, that ball is out.
Oh, that's a bad call for Cedar Falls. Oh, tough break.
Oh, man.
Watch this. There's the tackle.
That ball is definitely out. He's not even close to down. Great hit by Coonrod. Put his shoulder right into the football, flipped him over.
All for naught, as now they'll measure to whether or not Entrikin picked up enough for the 1st down. So it's a tough break. It looked like the Tigers had forced their 2nd turnover of the game. Cedar Falls fans probably got a better look from their angle.
And it's unfortunate, because right in front of the CF coaching staff too, and I think they saw the same thing we're seeing right here.
Boom.
Because the ball's already going before he lands on the ground. You can see, I can see one of the coach's arms saying, "Go with the football" for Schlottman.
That's going to be 4th down. Easton Miller coming in to punt.
That ball is easily rolling out, but can't do anything about it now.
And, well, they're going to be short. The punting unit appears to be out there for Ankeny Centennial.
No, Smith's still in at quarterback. They're going to go for this.
Oh, they are going to go for it. It's okay.
I think.
I saw Easton Miller, who does their punting, running out there.
I think he's just going to get right behind the center, and they're going to shove him forward.
All right. Now 4th down and inches. So Smith under center. We have guys ready to push him forward, and they do, and that should be a 1st down. So 4th down, they go for it and convert. And it's 1st and 10 now at the 47-yard line.
I think this is a critical point here in the game here for the Tiger defense, because kind of had a bad break there and kind of had a bad spot, but you got to let it go. You got to move on. It's over now. You've got to try to find a way to get a stop here.
Brad Remmer talking with the side official.
Well, the tough thing is Coach Remmer was right there. He's 10 feet away from that play, and I guarantee he saw that ball rolling before the guy was down.
1st and 10. Smith gives it off to Porter. Porter turning on the Jets. He has a running room down the sidelines, and Elijah Porter finally pushed out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Elijah Porter. Watch the acceleration. And
it's great blocking on the edge there from Centennial. But another big play.
5'11" junior. Hurts the Tigers. I can see he's out at the 21-yard line. Tough break for the Tigers. Looked like they had a fumble recovery. And now here's Ankeny Centennial just outside the red zone. Up the middle. This is Easton Miller. Boy, he runs hard.
That's what I'm saying. He's a battering ram is what he's like.
He runs high, too, and still takes it to the 15-yard line. Easton Miller averaging 4.6 yards a carry this year. Quickly, the Jags line up. It's a 2nd down and 4. And again, they go with Miller. Miller dives forward, and looks like he has another 1st down for Centennial.
They're going no huddle here. They're going again. It's almost like till you stop it, we're just going to keep doing it.
Tigers on their heels right now, trying to stop this Jaguars team. It's 3rd down, less than a yard. And he's caught in the backfield. And good defense by the Tigers, and looks like we might have another 4th down and very short again.
I think they're going to want to huddle on this one.
Remember, the Jaguars are out of timeouts. It's going to be a 4th down and 1. So the Tiger defense, that was Drew Gertis helping out on that stop.
It's kind of a longer yard here. I'm not sure if they can sneak this one, but
they stack it up again and just push the quarterback forward. And again, they go with the quarterback, and look at that.
Man, big push.
It's another 4th down conversion on this drive. Started at the 36.
Almost want to see the linebacker jump over the pile or whatever. But
kind of helpless that situation is Trenton Smith came into the game. Now he's a quarterback, and you take away like sacks and stuff. Only had 73 yards rushing on the entire season.
I'm surprised because he's a good athlete, moves well.
And that touchdown he scored in the first play of the 2nd quarter was his first rushing touchdown of the year. It's going to be a 1st and goal at the 10. And we have a flag down. And
a false start again.
So that's been a break for Cedar Falls. The 3rd penalty now on the Jaguars.
Got Jake Peters in there, and it looked like he kind of shifted to the side and hit an offensive lineman start early.
I asked Ryan Pizzetti, what'd you learn about your team that win against Cedar Falls earlier this year? And he said, we know beating a team twice is never easy. They've improved since we last played, and they have great coaches, great kids, and he said they played really well in that game on week 4.
Campbell got held.
Back to pass, a lob in the end zone, and it's intercepted, but he was out of bounds as making the pick was Schlotman, I think, and he stepped out of bounds, though. He forced it. It's caught.
Yep,
could not get 1 foot in.
Boy, if you show that again, Campbell gets his shoulder, the jersey ripped right off his shoulder. Watch this here. Campbell comes off the edge. He rips his shoulder.
It's amazing how many times we've seen that this year.
And those are the calls that they have to make because it's out in the open. Sometimes in the middle of the field, you're not going to see that.
2nd down, the ball at the 15-yard line. Here's Porter. He's blazer, but this time Tigers defend it very well. And Elijah Porter only picks up about a yard in that play. He's tackled by Caleb Whelan, the free safety. 6:37 to go here in the first half. Tigers and Jaguars tied at 7 apiece. Jaguars on this drive twice have converted on 4th and inches.
Got to force a kick here.
Another dangerous Trenton Smith. I don't think he's had an incomplete pass yet. He goes back to pass. Pocket closing, and they're going to get to him. Jordan Jones Whitaker, the big 270-pound senior defensive lineman with the bear hug sack.
Forces the kick here.
His first sack of the year comes at an opportune time. So now the field goal unit comes in. Cale Weiner is perfect on field goals this year. He's 4 for 4.
Yeah, put the jinx on him, Mark.
This will be, what about a
32-yarder?
Yeah, 32. Kick on the way. It is up. It is good. So Weiner.
I don't think he has a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, the extra point looked a little shaky, and that got in there, but 5 for 5.
So with 5:56 remaining here in the first half, Cale Weiner's 32-yard field goal puts Centennial up 10-7. His long on the year, John, is 36 yards.
That seems about right to me. He could have had about 5 more yards maybe on that. But he's getting it straight.
So 2 fourth-down conversions, the key on that drive, and controversy on that what appeared to be a fumble by Entrican when he was hit by Colin Coonrod.
Love to see the offense get something going here. Take the last 5 or 6 minutes here and drive down and score before half.
It just seems like Centennial's been on offense this entire first half.
Well, our scoring drive was about 7 or 8 yards, you know, so.
Severson kicking off. Last time it only reached about the 15. This time a little farther back, and it'll be taken at the 10. And Tigers with the return.
Bacula.
Tate Bacula all the way across the 30. And Cedar Falls will take over. 5:48 remaining here in this first half. Tigers trying to get something going positive on offense. The first meeting between these two teams, Tigers trailed at halftime 21-0. The Jaguars kind of broke the game open. They scored a touchdown late in that second quarter. Tigers got within 21-7, but then the Jaguars got a big turnover and responded with a touchdown, and Tigers got a garbage touchdown. And 28-14 your final score.
Screenplay not open.
He'll have to run with it, and he's going to be brought down. Short gain on the play.
One of the things I like most about Hermanson, he doesn't put the ball in danger. And yeah, it was the design screenplay, but he read that it wasn't open, and he was right. Just kind of pick up the yards you can. You can see he spins around here, looks, and Gelhaus is covered.
Ironically, Hermanson has only thrown 1 interception all season long, and that was against Ankeny Centennial. Second down and 8. Clock moving. 5:13 remaining in the second quarter. Jaguars leading by 3. Hermanson throws it, and it's caught by Bacula. Oh, a good defensive play. He's tripped up as he was turning up the field. And Easton Miller.
Yeah, Miller's there again. It's a physical player.
Yeah, tripped him up.
Definitely seems like Centennial just wants to keep the Cedar Falls receivers in front of him and then just make the tackles.
Tigers missing their big play. Wide receiver Derek Woods led the Tigers in receptions, including 4 touchdown receptions. He broke his thumb in that game against Bettendorf and is out for the rest of the year. 4:25. Now it's a big 3rd and 7.
Got a timeout. Yep.
Cedar Falls look confused offensively and calls it timeout. 4:20 to go. Hey, congratulations to a Cedar Falls legend, Terrence Freeney. He's going to be part of the Iowa High School Athletic Association's Football Hall of Fame, the class of 2022. He'll be inducted along with the other members of this year's 2022 class at halftime of the Class 5A championship game on Friday, November 18th. Tiger fans will remember Freeney single-handedly almost bringing the Tigers to the state finals in 1999. 2-time All-State running back. How about this? In 11 games his senior season, he rushed for 2,746 yards.
Oh.
He finished with 6,582, still the all-time leading rusher at Cedar Falls. And he was the...
I think he's going to be for a while. It's going to be hard to beat, Mark.
Yeah. Then he went on to play at North Dakota State College of Science, JUCO, and then finished up at UNI. He was the Panthers' top rusher on that very good 2005 national runner-up team. So Terrence Freeney going into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. Now it's a huge play. Gelhaus in motion. Oh, and the ball fumbled and forced to just fall on it is Hermanson. May have started a little bit too soon and could not get a good grasp on the ball, and Tigers turn it over.
Here. Yeah, he was just starting to look downfield before he had it in his hands. I was watching the receiver route, so I didn't see exactly what happened, but yeah, he just lost it.
Disappointment. And now 3:55 to go, and that puts the pressure on that Tiger defense.
Big thing was he's able to get it back, though. At least we didn't turn it over at the 30.
Holstein averaging 43 yards a punt this year. And kind of flutters that one. And takes a good roll and will be down at the about 30-yard line by Colin Coonrod.
Yeah, it's big for here for the defense to get a stop.
Well, remember, Ankeny Centennial, no timeouts, John.
Timeouts, yep.
They used those all earlier in this quarter. Tigers led 7-0 after they recovered a fumble before, late in that first quarter, and Tate Hermanson scored on a 1-yard run on a 4th down play. Then the Jaguars responded with an 80-yard touchdown drive, and then they just kicked a field goal last time they had the ball, and now lead 10-7. Miller in motion. Here comes Porter. Porter up to the 35. Gain of 4.
Their offensive line's just clearing out about 3 or 4 yards right in the middle every time, and sometimes they hand it off, sometimes they fake it, but their offensive line's really moving some bodies there in the middle of the field.
Clock running, 3:16. Shows on the clock here at the UNI-Dome. This 5A first-round playoff game. The winner moves on to the quarterfinals. Smith gives it to Porter. Porter following his blockers inside and submarines his way up to the 38, 39-yard line. Coming up 3rd down.
And I think Cedar Falls is definitely not calling any timeouts, so they're sure that Ankeny might be punting.
Ian Bonenkamp kind of tripped him up there. 3rd down and a couple. On that quarterback sneak play, it seems to be good for 2 yards every time.
Exactly. I don't think it's going to be on this one.
Power it over. Smith, 3rd and a couple. And straight up the middle. Porter. Oh, he's going to. Flag.
It's got to be holding.
Flag comes out as he second effort. He gets the 1st down, but it's looked like it's going to be penalty against the Jags.
I think Langner's the one that got held. He came right through the middle. Not held, almost tackled.
Yeah, looked like a couple instances there where you could call the holding. So that will negate Porter's run. And I'll mark off the yardage. That's been the negative for Ankeny Centennial in the first half has been the penalties.
That's big. If we can get a stop here, call a timeout, get the ball back. And we don't have to get super close to the end zone to give Holstein a chance. So.
Yeah, definitely looked like Langner was held. Still.
Tigers sent him on a blitz there, and fullback just tried to pick him up.
Only one wide out. It's Snyder on a 3rd down and 13. Smith. Play action, looking to throw. Campbell breathing down his neck, forces him out to the pocket. Still trying to create something, but then throwing it out of play is Smith.
Boy, the Centennial coaches wanted a roughing the passer or a late hit. Not going to get it.
Watch the end of the play. See if the coaching staff for Centennial
Peters chased
had
him
an
down
argument. There's the throw.
Well, it wasn't intentional. He's trying to block the pass. Just kind of followed through. But if you're on Centennial's sideline, your quarterback got hit right on the sideline, so I can see why you're upset as well.
Minute 55 on the clock, so the Tigers force a punt. Ben Russell averaging 9.9 yards a return this year, standing about the 37. And Russell, he lets it roll, and
he couldn't catch it, and then by the time he could, it was already taking a hop.
Tough break for Ben, and now here come the Tiger offense. They'll have to go 80 yards with 1:45. They do have 2 timeouts remaining, but
it wasn't a great punt, so it was so low he couldn't really get to it, and then it just took a great hop for them.
Tigers touchdown they're set up by that fumble inside the 10. Their offense hasn't got clicking so far with Drake Gelhaus. And Ankeny Centennial has done a good job bottling up the Cedar Falls offense. But again, it's just a 3-point game.
And it just seems like we haven't had the ball very much. You know, it's they've done a good job defensively. We just haven't had it very much.
Tigers will get the second half kickoff. Remember that. I formation. Hermanson. Give it second man through, and Gelhaus just can't find anything. He'll pick up a 2. And if this isn't a long run, I think Tigers going to play pretty conservative here.
They definitely don't want to give it back to Centennial, but wouldn't surprise me if they throw the ball here, because you can still run it on 3rd down. They don't have any timeouts. So you can take one shot here with a pass and then see how it goes.
Rowe split wide to the right. Smith to the left. Out of the eye. And Hermanson. Pitch at the right. Gelhaus trying to find a hole, and is it pushed out of bounds? That'll stop the clock with 1:01 seconds remaining. Now it's a 3rd down. And 4 yards coming up for Cedar Falls.
No, I do think they will run it here, and if they get the 1st down, great. They may try to do something else, but if they don't, run it down the clock as much as you can and get the punt off.
Late in the first half, and Gelhaus up the middle.
Big hole.
That's a 1st down run, and finally wrestled near midfield with 54 seconds to go. Remember Jake Holstein, the Tigers kicker with the big leg. He has kicked a 47-yarder this season. So the biggest run of the game for Gelhaus.
Nice counter there. Good blocking up front. Drake found a little seam, and that was a big run there.
He was our offensive player to watch. Gelhaus has been the offensive MVP for the Tigers this year. 13 touchdowns. Rush coming into the game with 1,269 yards and a lot of carries, 216. Remember, he had that game against Kennedy with
almost broke the record for carries in a game.
Like 40 carries. Mercy. So the Tigers trying to get some.
I would like to know the
Freeney
yards per carry that season. That'd have to be high.
His senior season.
Yeah, incredible. All right, 1st and 10 here, about the 47.
So the Tigers have the football near midfield. And they go again with the counter. This time, Gelhaus able to fall forward across midfield. The Tigers going to have to hurry up. No huddle.
Called 2 plays here, I think. I would expect this one to be a pass play.
40 seconds shows on the clock. And
option.
And Hermanson with the pitch. Oh, Gelhaus can't get outside. That's Miller again. Boy, he has played very well defensively. He broke things up there.
Okay, we almost had a chance to get to the edge there. And so well played.
Final timeout taken by Cedar Falls. 28 seconds to go here in this first half. Centennial ahead by 3, 10-7.
I think we need about 15 yards to have a legitimate shot at kicking a field goal here.
Yes.
He can maybe get a 50-yarder there. I mean, he can get it there, but you got to be able to block it and get the hold down and kick it high enough to get over the line.
Oh, for years it was just Ankeny High School, and then a decade or so ago, Ankeny Centennial came into fruition, and now
I think they're building a 3rd school, aren't they? Or they're working on a 3rd school, I think. Yeah.
It's certainly a great athletic community. for both Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial in the postseason, and both teams incredibly strong in other athletics as well. So this is Ankeny, a very good high school sports town. Part of that metro area. About 2-hour trip here to Cedar Falls. 3rd down and 4. Tigers love to get about 20 yards here. Throw to the near side. It's a caught. Oh,
big hit.
Guess who? It's Miller time. Bakula with the catch, and Easton Miller with a great open field tackle. That guy is in the final seconds ticking off here. 12 seconds. 4th down and a yard. Tigers going for it. The snap. Oh, Tigers weren't all set, and the flags come out. So instead of 4th and 1, it'll be 4th and 6. This will be the last play of the first half with 6 seconds to go.
Well, hopefully they'll let the clock start after they reset it, and then that'll probably be it.
I'm starting to think there's more than one Easton Miller.
Yeah,
it's just like he's been all over the field tonight for Ankeny Centennial. Well, again, the half can end on a penalty. So maybe if there's a pass interference or something, Tigers could get a shot at a field goal. They're going to run it up the middle. Gelhaus, I don't think he got the first down, but it doesn't matter as these first half will end. And at intermission, the visitors from Ankeny Centennial leading 10-7 over Cedar Falls in this Class 5A first round playoff game. John and I will be back with the first half highlights and more when we return. You're watching Cedar Falls playoff football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
I am proud to work at Cedar Falls Utilities simply for the reputation that we have within the community. I love serving our customers, our community, and helping them with the needs when they come to us.
It's just really just is a collection of people working toward a shared goal for their community. And I think that's evident in everything we do.
I think our roles are important to customers. Simply, we get to help people and businesses do life every day.
When you go home, you'll feel good about what you did, and you're doing it for the kids. If they don't have us, they don't have these games.
For nearly 50 years, Witham Auto Centers have been privileged to serve our communities with honesty, integrity, and trust. And you can trust that we make car buying easy at Witham Auto Center in Cedar Falls. From our selections of new Volkswagens and Fords and pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to our factory-trained and certified service experts, we're ready to serve you at Witham Auto Center in Cedar Falls.
Everything we do is driven by you.
I love doing it. We go to all the state events. We work at all the state events, and you wear your polo and people stop and talk to you, and it's just really great to connect with kids from other schools who are on the board, and then coaches, athletic directors who will see you at the events will stop and talk to you, and it's really neat.
You feel a bit of a weight and you're a voice for all athletes in the state of Iowa, which is cool.
I think it's really cool. I remember reading the email and I'm like, oh, this would be something really cool to look for. It'd be good to talk to people that I want to get to talk to around the state. I get to see other people's opinions, kids from 5A schools, kids from small schools. I think it'll just be a really good opportunity for me. IHSAA represents so much that it's really cool that they have 2 girls on the board to bring a girl's perspective, because I think it's really important to be very diverse and get different opinions.